guys that only know how to win. The state is trying to bring you to. You must feel the power of a warrior. Fight, 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 fight. Let's get ready to rumble. Fight, 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 fight.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the webinar. I'm Ryan Stewman. I'm very excited to have you here today. And before we get started, I just want to put a couple of things out there for you so that you know what to expect as we go through this webinar together. And the first thing is that I'm not going to attempt to sell you anything. There's nothing for sale on here. There's no surprising hard pitch. I'm actually doing this for ulterior motives. I'm actually going to record this and put it up on a website and use it in the future to help other loan officers. So that being said, there's absolutely nothing for sale on this video. I'll give you an opportunity if you want to know more about me at the end, a place that you can find some information. But other than that, I'm going to dive right into and give you some stuff that you can immediately put into place, immediately and actionably put into place to make you money as soon as you're done watching this webinar, which is going to last somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. I promise that I'm going to be entertaining, funny, and you're going to get a lot of information that you can make money from immediately. So with that being said, I just want to take all the pressure of what's in it for him and what's coming and where's the sales pitch and all that other stuff that I know that we all have. And I just want to take that off the table and make that easy as you enjoy this presentation. With that being said, let's just jump right into video marketing for loan officers. If you're here and you're a loan officer, you're in the right spot. I'm going to give you some really informative information that's really going to change the way that you do business should you decide to take action with the information that I'm going to give you today. More importantly, it's going to help you be successful beyond your current level of success, and it's not going to require any more time, and it's actually going to be a lot of fun in the process, and I'm going to actually teach you how to seduce agents to get them to give you their undying loyalty in business using video. So if you're in and down to learn things like that, then stick around because we're going to have a good time here. So let's just dive right into it. So what is working right now to attract realtors and investors? It's important that you know that. See, we as loan officers, we have this like perception of ourselves that's completely different than the market's perception of ourselves. And I'll jump back into that in a minute. But at first, before we jump into this, I think it's important that you know who it is that's the person behind the computer that's giving you these instructions and what credentials does that person that's giving you these instructions have that makes that person the authority to give you the credentials. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Ryan Stewman. I was a loan officer from 2002 to 2010, so right around 8 years. I left in March of 2010. Due to the frustration of paperwork, among other things. The last year that I was a loan officer, full year that I was a loan officer, was 2009, which is arguably one of the worst, or arguably the worst year to be a loan officer in the history of modern day mortgages. And I still managed to close 163 loans that year. And it was because not some kind of super secret formula or 5-step process. It was because it took a lot of hard work. But I also found some ways to automate that hard work, which allowed me to spend that hard work time prospecting and generating new business from real estate agents and investors because I like residual business instead of going direct to the consumer. And it allowed me to spend my hard work and time doing that as opposed to doing all the paperwork and everything else. And I was around and wrote loans when HVCC existed. Simpson Bowles wasn't around yet. However, Dodd-Frank had already passed. I was having to order 4506s. I've used Encompass. I understand the front end heaviness and the paperwork requirements. And you know what? I enjoyed playing golf with real estate agents and going to functions and stuff like that. And the paperwork pulled me away from it. Well, for the last 3 years, I've been working with real estate agents. I've shared the stage nationwide with a lot of different venues, speaking in front of large real estate conventions and being involved. I've actually coached about 25 specific real estate agents, and I've had as many as 73 real estate agents that I personally ran their social media on their personal Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter pages as well. I've taught a lot of real estate agents how to market their business more effectively using outside of the box, not normal real estate tradition type marketing methods. And because of that, I was introduced to my business partner, Chris Weaver, who holds the record for selling $100 million worth of homes his first year in business, and I believe that's the most that's ever been sold. He did 180 his first 18 months, bought his brokerage, tripled the size of it, and then sold his brokerage off to some other company, and then became a very large recruiter, recruited thousands of real estate agents into different brokerages across the U.S., Canada, and other places. So with that being said, I got introduced to this fellow who had a tremendous amount of energy, just like myself. And we clicked immediately, and he invited me to come into his world and speak to agents and give them an outside perspective, someone that was not per se a real estate agent, even though I've bought and sold more homes than the average real estate agent since I was a loan officer, right? And we all know that the money man is the most important person in the whole transaction, because without money, you don't get a deal. But it has allowed me to infiltrate the other side, to understand what it is that real estate agents need from their title companies, loan officers, appraisers, inspectors, and all the things, and all these people that beg real estate agents for business. It's allowed me to get empathy from the agent's perspective, and I'm going to share some of that with you today, and how that you can have that same empathy for them and win a real estate agent's business over and over. So basically, in a nutshell, what I'm telling you is I'm a top producing real estate agent who's currently infiltrated the other side. Agents know, like, and trust me. Matter of fact, I'm shortly headed here to New Jersey to speak in front of the New Jersey Century 21 Brokers Council and train them on some pretty innovative stuff. And so I'm constantly in front of real estate agents, but really my passion is for helping loan officers. So with that being said, let's hop on to the next slide. As I've traveled around, as I've said, I've told this story, and I think it's important that I tell this story to you before we jump into everything here. But the story is called The Evolution of Communication. You see, back in the 80s, I was born in 79, so we'll start in the 80s. So back in the 80s, cell phones arrived on the scene. And people said things when they first got cell phones like, well, this cell phone's only for my friends and family. It's not really for, it's not really for business. I don't want business people to contact me outside of my work or my office. I surely don't want them to call me at home, and I definitely don't want them to call me on my cell phone. Well, because of that, somewhere along the line, smart, intelligent, service-providing salespeople stepped up and said, you know what, I'm going to give my cell phone number to everybody. I want them to be able to call me at any time so that they can get in touch with me. That way, if they need me, that's what I get paid to do. I want to provide that service for them. And before long, everybody had to share their cell phone numbers with their clients, and those who didn't were left behind. The same thing happened in the 90s with email. Email shows up on the scene, and people said the exact same things. They said, you know what? Email is my personal email. I don't want Viagra or porn or Nigerian bank scams. I don't want to give it out. It's just personal. I don't want work people contacting me on my email. Oh, it's just this thing. It's for my friends and family only. But, smart people in the 90s, like us that are watching this and paying attention to this right now, said, you know what? I'm going to put my cell phone number and my email address on this thing called a website. That way anybody in the world can reach me 24 hours a day, because I want to be out there and be able to provide service to those people. And that's pretty spectacular, but a lot of people resisted that. But those that didn't do it in the beginning were forced to, because it became the status quo, because after enough people offered it to their clients, that became the expectation of the clients. Let's just jump a little bit further ahead to 2003 when text messages arrived on the scene. And a lot of people said, you know what, I'm not going to learn text message. If somebody wants to text message me, they can call me. If they want to talk to me, they can call me. I'm not going to learn how to communicate with my thumbs. It's a bunch of BS. But the truth is, every time a new form of communication arrives on the scene, it's out of public demand, right? Just because you don't want to change doesn't mean the other generations don't want to change or those around you don't want to change. It's out of necessity. These things aren't born and forced upon us. They're born because they're better. They're evolving, hence the evolution of communication. Well, let's talk about modern day. Recently, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, but let's just talk about Facebook in particular, have arrived on the scene in a very major way, and it's put social media as one of the most effective marketing platforms that's out there. I've been saying this for 3 years now, and I was fought with much adversity in the beginning, and people didn't believe that it was a real thing. But the truth is now the mass public's catching on to the power of social media, but yet there's still people saying, you know what, I've created a fan page. I don't want people to see my personal page because that's for my friends and family. But the truth is, loan officers, real estate agents, none of us are going to be fans of a loan officer or a real estate agent, right? We're not really fans. Maybe if we do business with them or whatever, but the truth is we'd rather connect with them on their personal page. Well, the client feels the same exact way. They're no different than you or I. They have the same exact emotions, psychological triggers, and everything else, but we try to treat them different, right? It's like we almost try to make clients second-class citizens. Don't reach me on my personal page. Reach me on my business page because you're a business person. You're not someone that I love and trust and want to be able to do business with again and again in the future. And that's just stinking thinking first off. But more importantly, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And open up your Facebook profile and make it public. Connect with anybody. Start building it as a list. Brand yourself as an expert on there. And don't be scared to connect with clients and everything else. That just keeps you up in your game and keeping your game better because you want to perform at optimal levels. That way nobody can say anything bad about you on social media. However, if you're performing at optimal levels, people can continue to say great things about you on social media. So that's a little food for thought. And that's the evolution of communication. Right now, people are saying, I don't want to open Facebook. It's for my friends and family only. My challenge to you today is if you don't open up Facebook and start connecting with your customers and building an intimate relationship with them on Facebook to where they know, like, and trust you and will continue to buy from you, you will be left behind in a next short period of time, like we're talking a couple of years, because they will have already brand recognition with your competitors and already bonded trust and familiarized themselves with your competitors. But here's one thing that I haven't said until today. I'm going to reveal this on this webinar for the first time. And that's the next phase in the evolution of communication is video. And I know what you're saying right now. Oh, video. Oh my God, I don't want to do video. I'm bald, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm thin, I'm skinny, I'm tall, I'm short. I weigh too much. I don't weigh enough. I got bad teeth. My hair's gone. I'm gray. I'm blonde. I'm black. My roots, my eyes, my wrinkles. I've heard them all. Right? And the truth is, but video is in demand. Facebook right now has the ability for you to leave voicemails, instant messages, chat messages, and video messages. Skype is one of the most popular communication devices out there, period. And then you've got YouTube, which for every 1 hour in the day, or maybe it's every 1 minute in the day, 32 hours of video are uploaded onto YouTube. It's a tremendous amount of video, which tells us that there is a huge need for video and a huge push for it. And that is the next evolution in communication is video. And the thing with video is it's a very influential process. And I'm going to teach you some things today that you can do with video that's going to help you take your game to the next level. It's going to help you connect with agents. It's going to help you free up some time to where you don't have to deal with clients as much, but yet on a more intimate level, right? Sounds too easy? Well, just stick with me here. But if you're not doing video, let me first take away some excuses, okay? The first thing that you need to be doing video is legacy. Now, I told you I was born in 1979, and my great-grandfather passed away in 1976. His name was Dick McCord. I've heard all these great stories about him from my father and my grandfather and those in the small community where he grew up and that he owned a lot of land. And he was really this great person. But I never got to meet him. And all I ever saw was, black and white photos of the guy and maybe some Technicolor photos of the guy. And they didn't really smile that much back then. So I don't get a sense. And I wish there would have been videos around then to where I could see what my great-grandfather was like and see for myself all the great things that people talk about. So all business aside, if for no other reason to do videos so that the generations that come after you, your great-great-great-grandchildren, YouTube's never going to go away. It's digital formatted, stored in the cloud. But that way they're able to look back and they're able to see the type of personality where even if they look back and go, hey, you know what? My great-great-grandfather Ryan Stewman was a buffoon. Look at this guy. He got out, put himself out there. He called himself the energy producer, hardcore closer. What an obnoxious idiot. And I'm okay with that. But at least they'll see me for my authentic personality and who I am. And you know what? I would imagine they'll look back and realize that they're a lot like me because after all, they're my descendants. And so I urge you, if for nothing else, show your work ethic to future generations. We know how important that is. Show the innovative things that you did, that you weren't scared to step out in front of the camera. And listen, if you don't look like you want to look, then don't use that as an excuse either, because people are going to meet you face to face when you do business for a lot of times. And if you're using an old 10-year-old picture on your business cards or your websites, and every now and then you say, well, I don't meet a lot of my clients, but every now and then you meet a client, and that client is judging you for everything you're worth, because they think that you've already deceived them, because the picture that they expected to see of you is not the picture that is actually exists of you. It's not the picture of who you are. It doesn't represent you. But video out there is something that represents you. It's authentic. I keep saying that word. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's authentic. It's a way for you to present who you are and remove any excuses from doing video, because it's the wave of the future and you better get on board or you're going to get left behind. The next thing about videos is longevity. See, the cool thing about videos, you can say something once on video, which I'm going to demonstrate here in a couple of minutes coming up. But you can demonstrate something once on video and never have to say that thing again. So that allows you to put systems in place in your business to where you can use videos, which you'll notice a lot of the big Fortune 500 companies use this practice already. But you can put videos into place for training, for giving information, for sharing information. You can even turn a video into a mobile salesperson for you if you know exactly what you're doing. I do it all day, every day. So another reason to get involved and do videos immediately, right? It's not just longevity, that stuff will be out there forever, but SEO. See, YouTube is owned by Google. And when I say video, I'm specifically talking about just normal YouTube videos. YouTube's owned by Google, and there's 4 parts really that work currently to the front page of Google. You've got advertisements. You've got organic posts that show up, like news posts and things like that. You've got images that show up. And then you've also got videos that show up on there. And it's really, those are the 4 parts that make up the front page of Google. So the thing that Google is missing a lot of, and that YouTube's missing a lot of, is properly keyworded and properly placed videos. So you have a chance to really get a lot of SEO, especially if you're making videos in the loan officer niche, because there are not a lot of loan officers doing that out there. You're able to get on the front page of Google in a lot of cases just by making a cool video and giving it the right title. And we'll talk about all that here towards the end of the webinar as well. And the last reason, or not the last reason, but the last major reason to do videos, familiarity. Let me give you an example of the psychology and the influence behind familiarity. If you move to a new city, and we've all moved at one point in our lives to another area of the country or state or wherever the place may be, you've had to leave your old news crew. Let's say you watch Channel 5 News. And you've had to leave your old news crew, and you've had to learn that the Channel 5's news crew in your new city still delivers the news, but they're different people. Well, the first night you live in your new home, you watch the new Channel 5 news crew, and you're like, okay, I get this. I'm with them or I'm not with them, right? And you make the decision that you're going to watch them again the next night. The next night you watch them, you get a feel for their personalities. You're like, hey, it's Ron, the stuffy guy. It's Tim, the typical weather guy. You know, you get to notice their personalities and get a feel for them, and you become familiar with them. And you become familiar with them to a point to where you actually think you know them and you trust them as a source of information. See, most of us, all of our lives, we've been sat down by our parents and other people in front of TVs and taught, hey, that's an authority figure right there on TV, respect them. And we've had this admiration. We grow up saying we want to be rock stars, movie stars, we want to be on TV. You know, we'll get on the news for free and give them information. We'll pay to do commercial spots, like all these things that we do to get involved in TV. So we see somebody that's on TV, or on video rather, because it's all the same these days. And we have this tremendous amount of admiration, and we give them the celebrity authority status in our mind, whether you realize it or not. And that creates a tremendous amount of bonding and trust and familiarity. And that's huge. And video is one of the only ways you can do it quickly and powerfully. Honestly, for free as well. So let's talk about what type of videos you want to make as a loan officer, and how to use them and how to package them up and why they're effective for you. So the first type of video that you want to make is a real life video. I'll give you an example. Just yesterday, my friend Colleen Frost, who's a real estate agent with Keller Williams, she made a video where a box was sent to her house. And then she got the camera out from her iPhone, recorded the box. She said, listen, I don't know who sent this to me, but it's sent to the Colleen Frost team, so I can assume it's one of my clients. Let's just open the box together. And she recorded herself opening the box, and inside of it was a gift of truffles, which are very expensive. I'm sure you know that. And it was a note that she read, and she didn't say it out loud, but it touched her to the point to where she got emotional, and you could tell that she was a little teary-eyed on the video. And if you think about that, and she's like, thank you so much. I just want to say thank you so much to the Smith family, or whatever the case may be. And you know what? The thing about that video proved it was a real life video, something that happened in real time. It was totally worth watching. The headline she put on it was, oh my God, you won't believe what they mailed me. Right? So that's something that you want to look at, something that you watched. It was really short and to the point. It showed emotion, but more importantly, it showed her in real life, and it showed a testimonial because her clients that had already paid her a lot of money. She's a real estate agent, so we know she earned 3 to 6% transaction on the deal. The average house she messes with is $300,000. Went above and beyond to send her basically a tip. Now that was some huge social proof that any of her clients, if they watch that video, are going to have some psychological triggers, whether they realize it or not, go off. The next type of videos you want to make are time-freeing videos. Now, I know specifically there are 6 steps in the mortgage process that we repeatedly have to go through, and it takes those 6 steps are from start to finish. And if you know each one of those 6 steps, then you can use videos to make time-frame videos. And I'm just going to give you an example of step 1. Step 1 is when someone gives you an application, this is what typically happens. They go online, they submit an application, you get it, you look at everything, you see what documents you need to gather from them, and then you type up a really long email specifically tailored to them with the list of things that you need to get from them and thanking them for going online and applying. While that's great, that's what every other loan officer does. Wouldn't it be better if you made a 20-second video that said, hey, it's Ryan Stewman. Thank you so much for going online and applying for a mortgage. I wanted to send you this video so you could put a name with the face. More importantly, attached to this email that you got this video in, there are going to be some documents that I need to get from you. And also in the future, as I send you emails with videos attached to them, it's very important because I use videos to communicate so that way you understand exactly where we are in every step of the process. So you will only get an email from me if it is absolutely an emergency, and if I shoot you and if I send you a video, it is important information, so make sure that you watch the videos when I send them along. I'm excited to work with you, and I'll be back in touch with you as soon as I get all the documents listed in the email below. Thank you. That's a 30-second video that's super easy. It saves you from having to spend 5 minutes calling them not answer, you leaving a voicemail, they calling you back while you're in the middle of another phone conversation, then you calling them back playing phone tag again. I mean, it saves a lot of time. It's to the point. There's certain things that you've done in that time-freeing video. You've brought them the information they need. They know you got their application. They know exactly what to do, get you the stuff that was attached to the email with the video in it, right back to them. They also know that they need to be checking their email because when you email them with the video, it is going to contain important information regarding their loan, just like this one. So you've trained them to open your future emails and you've trained them to take action fast. And they put a name with the face, so you've started that familiarity process. And I told you there's 6 steps, so by the time you hit the third of the 6 steps, you created a tremendous amount of familiarity with them to the point where you almost have a celebrity status. Now, another way Another video that you need to make is an emotional video. Now, I'm just going to give this as a testimonial example, but the way to go out there with an emotional video is when you've had that client that they were turned down at another mortgage company. You came in at the last minute, you fought underwriters, you fought appraisers, you did all these things, you made everything fall into place and made sure that it closed on time, and they know it and they are forever thankful for you. Those are the clients that you go and meet at the closing table, and as soon as they're handed the keys to their house, or whatever the case may be, you catch them on your iPhone, you say, hey, real quick, talk about the experience that you had with me. Those people are going to say things like, oh my God, we have been turned down somewhere else. Ryan Stewman came through at the last minute. He made everything happen. We closed on time. He is our freaking hero. Look, we got the keys to our house. They're going to be super excited. And that's an emotional testimonial video without somebody standing up like you prop them up on a stick up their ass and you're like, hey, I'd use Ryan Stewman and we closed on time. He was a really nice guy. I highly recommend him. Dude, who wants to watch that? Right? But if you name that video that's got a testimonial video, if you name that video client freaks out at the closing table over Ryan Stewman, then when your people are searching you online, they look that up and they see that and they see the clients freaking out in a good way. Now let me give you a really cool thing that you can do as far as real life videos that you can go out there and help a real estate agent with as well. So here's what you do. The real estate agent that you've been wanting to prospect lately, they don't care about your low rates. They don't care about your service. I'm going to tell you exactly how to win a real estate agent over right now. You call an agent that is a listing agent that you want business from this week, and this is what you say. You say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, I have been seeing you on Facebook and LinkedIn for quite a while. I enjoy your work. I would love to accompany you on your next listing presentation. and I would just like to record the whole listing presentation. I've got an idea about following the homeowners around and letting them demonstrate their own house, and then you talking about some things that you're going to change before the staging and some allowances and things like that. And we're going to get it all on video, and then we're going to put it up. And I've got a way that we could possibly get thousands of video hits on YouTube, and I think that would make you look really good in front of the listing presentation. It'll help get your brand out there, and at the same time, we may be able to generate new leads from LinkedIn as well, or from YouTube as well. So that gives you a different angle to offer value to a real estate agent. And that gives you a different way to offer value to a real estate agent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and tell you the next steps on that and how to seal that deal here when we get through the next portion. So how do you communicate using video? Well, there's something out there called the 7-touch rule. The 7-touch rule says that it generally takes 7 to 9 touches, which means forms of communication before someone becomes familiar with you. And that may mean you need to email somebody 7 times. You may need to text or have 7 phone calls with somebody. You need to send 7 pieces of open direct mail to somebody, or whatever the case is. But it takes 7 touches before somebody becomes familiar with you. Within those 7 touches can all be passed on Facebook and by using video in a very short manner. Because matter of fact, if you refer to the earlier scenario I gave you about the Channel 5 news, if you think about it, I told you that by the second night you were already familiar with the Channel 5 news crew and you felt like you knew them. So video right there is proof in itself that it can be highly influential and you can pass the 7-touch rule. The other thing is, and because of that 7-touch rule, you can create almost instant familiarity. I mean, think about it. Even if you watch a new show, say you've never seen 2.5 Men before, you watch it tonight, you go home tomorrow, at the same time it's on again, you watch the second episode, you're going to feel like you know Charlie and Jake. That's not because they're great actors, which they are, but more importantly, look at the reality shows. Those people aren't good actors, but more importantly, you feel familiar with them because of what we've been taught in our lives and the fact that they're on video. The other thing that you can use on video is you can create the framing you want. You can frame questions in the way that you want. You can make things half empty, half full. You can also share important information, loan updates. I've got this issue. Hey, here's something extremely exciting coming to the neighborhood that is really that we're really happy to share about. And one thing I'll go back to here is that you don't want to talk about anything industry news-wise. You just don't want to do it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if MBSs are ups or down. Nobody cares. Even when someone locks their loan in, they don't care about all that stuff. That's just stuff that us loan officers that we're goofy about and that we think is cool and we think the world cares about. But notice when you post that stuff out there, for the most part, the general public doesn't like or comment on it. So don't make videos about it. Don't waste your time doing that. Stick to the top 3. Make things that are fun, entertaining, but anything but industry videos. But you can also share important information. Right? New things going on in the community, new developments going up, exciting new structures being built within the area that you sell, new builders coming to the area, fun parks being built, whatever those cases are, important information, even important loan information like we discussed earlier when I talked about using videos to communicate those 6 steps. So there's some ways to communicate video to really put your life on autopilot, free up some of your time to where you can do more prospecting and less processing, I guess would be a good word for us loan officers. So how do you use this to attract realtors, investors? Well, I told you earlier that you could call a real estate agent up and you could tell them that you want to video their next listing appointment, right? Well, how that works is just like this. You tell them that video equals high SEO. We've gone all over that before, right? A couple slides ago. With video equal high SEO, it can get their brand out there, but this is that whole scenario laid out in front of you. The first thing that you do is you reach out to the realtor, you go through the whole script that I just gave you a while ago, and you say, hey, I'd like to meet you at your office. That way we can ride together and discuss the strategy, and you can tell me a little bit about what you expect the homeowner to be and what the house to look like on the way over there. How's that sound? They're generally going to agree with it. And so, even though you're a brand new person, you're offering to meet them at their office, you're a legit person, you're a mortgage officer with a license, you've got you're a legit person, so it should not be a problem whatsoever. And if you come off creepy, then I don't know, that's on you. But more importantly, this gives you a chance to ride in the vehicle with the real estate agent. You're not having to buy coffee, you're not having to buy lunch, but you get to have like People associate the person in the passenger side of their car as a friend. So you get to go over there and psychologically talk to them from a friend perspective. Now, here's the deal. Don't talk to them about mortgages. Don't talk to them about how low rates are, how insanely busy you are, how you have the greatest underwriters or the greatest processors or a cool team or you're a correspondent lender. They don't care about any of that. Your job when you're in this car ride is to ask the realtor about their business. What's important to you? Do you have a family? What's it like going on a home listing? Do you get nervous before these things? Talk to them, ask them questions, get them talking to you, and your job is to listen. What real estate agents tell me as I travel around and talk to thousands of them is they say nobody listens to us. Loan officers, title companies, vendors, they all want to tell us stuff and give us instruction on what we need to do, but nobody wants to listen to us. So let that be some food for thought for you. Listen to the agent, develop that relationship. People like people who like them. Show them that you like them. Then when you're there filming the house, you ask the homeowner to talk about some emotional stuff. So as the realtor, you say, hey, Mrs. Homeowner, Mr. Homeowner, if you don't mind, I'd like to record as we walk around here and you show me the rooms. But if you remember any stories that have happened, like with your kids or some fun times or some interesting times, feel free to share those stories with us, such as, your kid tripping and busting his teeth out or breaking a glass one time in the kitchen. The things that happen in normal family life, share some of that with us. So you follow that homeowner around the house with your phone camera, and the homeowner may say, well, you might find this funny, but in this house, in this room, the carpet is pink and the walls are blue. We had twins back in the 80s, and I'm in construction. And originally, I did this as a joke because we weren't sure we were having a boy or a girl. And then we ended up having a boy and a girl. So we just decided to leave this room pink and blue the whole time. But the joke's on everybody else. The joke's on us. I'm more than willing to change it to whatever color the future homeowner is willing, because this is just a little inside joke that we've kept here since our kids, and it just kind of reminds us of our family. So, but I just want the people watching this video to be well aware that there is a painting and carpet allowance. I'll make it whatever color you want before you move in here. As I said, I'm in construction. Now, in this room over here, I remember the first time that Johnny came running down the hallway, and I told him, Johnny, don't run down the hallway. And then he tripped. And he hit his head into the wall. So that wall right there, and he's done this twice. So that wall right there, we've had to replace the sheetrock on it twice, but there's no pipes behind it and there's never been any damage. But that's a heck of a story, right? Second time, at least, he was wearing a helmet. So you follow them around, and maybe their stories aren't going to be that entertaining, but it's your job to push that entertaining out of them, to ask them those questions as a loan officer. But what's happening is the homeowner can sell their house better than anybody else. You're showing the real estate agent a new way that they can get in and get a listing, because all this is going to impress the homeowner, right? And they can do professional videos later and all that stuff like the real estate agent is going to, right? This is just a quick walkthrough to get everything going and to get buzz generated about the property. So when you're done with that, you shake the homeowner's hand. You say, oh, by the way, the reason why I'm here with the real estate agent is I'm in the mortgage business. I don't know you guys are buying another house or whatever the case may be, but I promise you I'll do some innovative stuff to make sure, just like this video, to make sure that I get you guys the best deal and put you in the best financial vehicle, not mortgage, the best financial vehicle that's going to get you the goals that you want. So just hit me up. I'd love to talk to you guys and help you out. You seem like really cool people. Well, the cool thing is while you were walking through that house, videoing it with the homeowner, asking them questions behind the camera, you're bonding with them. So now you've earned a little trust, a little bit, and you've done something extra for them that gives the undeniable law of reciprocity. They feel like they owe you a little bit, at least, to crack at doing business, because you came there and you did some videos for free. They got to know you a little bit. The law of reciprocity says, wow, this guy did something for me. I should at least give him a chance to do something, that I can do something for him. Now, the next thing that you can use video for is for content for blogs, and then also places to leave your links on comments. So one of the greatest things that I like to do to prospect is read people's blogs on Active Rain and eProperty sites and other real estate blogs that are out there, and I'll skim the article, leave an intelligent comment that's very prolific, that shows them that I know exactly what I'm talking about and I'm smart, and then I'll leave a video link, or in my case it's a blog link because I put videos on my blog, but I'll leave a video link to the actual video that I made. And you could even do this from the standpoint of going to real estate agents' blogs, because people put blogs out there because they want to be seen. They want people to know that they're out there, that they exist. They put that out there to be read. So you going there, reading it, showing them that you read it, and telling them thank you, and then making actually intelligent comments on the things that they produced, is a really powerful way for you to get in good with a real estate agent too. It appeals to that inner narcissist that we all have, but especially real estate agents have, because they're salespeople that have to do marketing too. So what you can do is, after you leave that comment, leave a link to your video. That way, when the realtor goes there to look and they see, oh wow, this is a great comment, I wonder what this video link is. And the video may be, hey, it's Ryan Stewman. A lot of times when I read great blogs like the one that you have, I just want to leave a great message and introduce myself. I love what you're doing. I love the way that you write. And if there's anything that I could do for you, I'd like to talk to you. Why don't you reach out to me? My number's below in this video. I think you and I have a lot in common, because I really dig real estate agents that blog, and I think I can help you grow a little bit more exposure to your blog. In the meantime, get back in touch with me at the number that you see on the video, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks. And guess what? Instead of you having to make a million cold calls, you're out there prospecting, or your assistant's prospecting, just leaving comments on realtors' blogs that you know you like with that video. They can't help but see it and think it's innovative and want to reach out to you. And then the cool thing, or another cool thing rather, is that you can duplicate this process for your realtors and investors. Everything that I've just taught you today, you can teach your realtors and investors the same thing. You can, after you've showed them how to shoot an emotional video, then's the time to say, hey, I want to earn all your business. Let's do this together. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I know so many ways that I can help you with video and social media. Let's get a real business started together. When's the last time any loan officer ever offered to help you market a property? And they're going to say never. And you're going to be able to get in there and duplicate this process for them and be a hero. And that's how you seduce an agent to give you their undying loyalty in business. And you've earned it. You've worked hard for it, and you've invested your time and everything in the information. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with social media, especially video, which video makes great content for your social media pages as well, specifically as a loan officer to attract real estate agents and investors. And then obviously it's easily duplicatable. So here's what you do next. Right now you can go to freestrategysessions.com. I promised I wasn't selling anything. This is the last slide. Or you can email me at ryanstewman@gmail.com. You can connect with my assistant, Lindsay Roberson. That's actually her email, the ryanstewman@gmail.com. So if you email me there, she will get back in touch with you, schedule up a time for us to talk. I highly suggest you go to freestrategysessions.com, read what's over there, fill out the form, let's talk. Let's see if there's a way that you can improve on your business and go from that million to 2 million mark and all the way up to the 5 to 10 million mark. I've been there. I've helped a lot of loan officers, and I'd like to talk to you about your business. So if nothing else, I hope you learned a lot of great information on here. Thanks for investing your time in yourself to learn this stuff. If you enjoyed this, there it is, facebook.com/Ryan Stewman. Write on my Facebook wall and tell me that you enjoyed the show and that you learned a lot from it. More importantly, that you're going to implement it. So, and feel free also to share this with a friend. So thank you very much for spending some time here. I'm super excited. Go to freestrategysessions.com. And as it says down there in the bottom, you can check out my personal blog and subscribe at hardcorecloser.com too. And there's a lot of great stuff on there that you can share with your agents. So with that being said, thanks again. And I want to thank Nick Carpenter and Garrett Finkelstein for having me here as well.